The low hum of the refrigerator was the only sound that cut through the silence of the evening. Alex sank deeper into his armchair, the warmth of a half-finished cup of tea cupped in his hands. Rain pattered softly against the window panes, a gentle, rhythmic drumming that usually soothed him. Tonight, however, it felt different. A sudden, sharp scrape from the kitchen made him jolt, spilling warm tea onto his fingers. He frowned, setting the mug down. It was probably just the old house settling, he told himself, but the comforting thought did little to quell the sudden knot of ice forming in his stomach. The house had never made a sound quite like that before. A profound and unnerving stillness followed, amplifying the beat of his own heart in his ears. He tried to dismiss the growing unease, picking up his book again, but the words swam before his eyes. His gaze kept flicking towards the darkened hallway. Was that a flicker of movement he saw in his peripheral vision? A shadow, darker than the surrounding gloom, seemed to stretch and then retract just at the edge of the light. He held his breath, listening. Nothing. Then, a distinct creak from upstairs. A single, deliberate sound from the floorboard right outside his bedroom. It wasn't the familiar groan of the old wood expounding. It was the sound of weight, of something or someone, stepping carefully. A cold sweat prickled his brow. The feeling was undeniable. Now, he was not alone. The sensation of being watched, a palpable pressure on the back of his neck, made every hair stand on end. Every nerve screamed at him to stay put, to hide. But an irrational, magnetic pull drew him from the chair. His feet moved as if on their own, carrying him silently across the living room carpet and up the stairs, one agonizing step at a time. Each tread seemed to echo into the oppressive silence. He stopped at the top of the landing, his eyes fixed on his bedroom door. It was slightly ajar, just as he had left it, yet the air around it felt heavy, charged with a malevolent energy that made his lungs feel tight. He knew, with a certainty that defied all logic, that something was waiting for him on the other side. As he stared, his heart hammering against his ribs, the brass doorknob began to turn. It moved with an excruciating slowness, a silent, deliberate rotation by an unseen hand. The click of the latch releasing was deafening. The door swung inward with a low groan, revealing the familiar sight of his bedroom, bathed in the faint moonlight filtering through the window. It was empty. The bed was neatly made, the clothes on the chair untouched. A wave of dizzying relief washed over him, so potent it nearly buckled his knees. He let out a shaky breath, a choked laugh escaping his lips. It was just his imagination, the old house and the storm playing tricks on him. He turned away from the doorway, a weak smile on his face, and his gaze fell upon the large window overlooking the back garden. For a fleeting moment, he saw his own reflection, pale and wide-eyed, but standing directly behind his mirrored image, its long, spindly fingers resting on his shoulders, was the grotesque, smiling face of the creature that had been in the room with him all along.
Subscribe if you dare.